All right, we're ready to start on the second step of our D28 build. The next step is taking the back plates and joining them together. The back comes in two pieces, has a center strip that goes between them. It gets glued up like that to make the complete back. This is an HD28 center strip. This is the same pattern that's on a herringbone D28. To join these, we want these perfectly straight, these edges perfectly straight. And to do that, I use a granite plate with adhesive back sandpaper on top of it. This granite plate is extremely flat. You buy these, Grizzly Tool carries these. It's 143 pounds, so the shipping price is more than the price of the plate. The plate's only $91. Shipping is $99. So I've had this one for a while. There are other options for doing this. If you have a granite countertop dealer in your area, a lot of times you can find scraps from them, cut-offs. It's not quite as absolutely flat as a machinist plate is, but it's a pretty good option if you don't want to go for the full price of buying a granite plate. The adhesive back sandpaper is very handy for making sanding blocks, odd shapes, everything else. So this is handy stuff to have anyway. So what I've done here is I've made a 90-degree fence on here. So if I hold something up here at 90 degrees and sand it on this sandpaper here on top of the plate, I end up with exactly a 90-degree angle there. So just simply go back and forth with it. And this is too fine to actually show on camera, but if you hold it up to the light where you get a little bit of reflection along that surface, the edge that's sanded, you want to see a continuous texture. What you don't want to see bright spots in it or anything. Whatever it looks like from one end, you want to see it all the way down through, and that lets you know that you've got a nice straight surface. Straight, even surface. So we'll do both sides. And this was pretty true from Martin, so this is pretty much ready to glue up. So get everything lined up. Now I have measured this back plate and it is about 125 thousandths of an inch. We want to finish up about 115 thousandths. That's what they come out of the factory. A D28 comes from the factory. That gives us 10 thousandths that we can do a lot of sanding on it and get it down to a nice finish. So what we do, and I showed this on another video, is we start taping the sides together. You get everything lined up the way you want it, pretty even, and you use masking tape. And one of the characteristics of masking tape, like I said on the other video, is it is slightly elastic. So you start sticking it on one side and you give it a pull as you go across and adhere it to the other side. That will pull the plate together. You don't need a lot of clamping force on this. And this actually puts quite a bit of clamping force on it, surprisingly. This method was taught to me by John Hall, Blues Creek Guitars. Any of this stuff you see, John can supply you with the tools or the kits. Alright, so now let me run one down the center just to hold things in place well. Alright, now you notice I can pick it up now and it holds together. You want some wax paper on the table there to keep you from gluing everything to your workbench. And we're using fish glue, which John sells. This is similar to the hot hide glue that Martin used traditionally up until the mid-60s, when they went to just regular woodworking type glue, like Titebond. This fish glue is a room temperature glue. Hot hide glue you have to heat up. Fish glue you can actually use at room temperature and ends up almost indistinguishable from hot hide glue. So we run a bead down each side of the back strip. Make sure it is on the hole all the way down that joint. Then we move over to the other side of the back strip. This back strip is another thing that is optional. It's decorative. If you are good with your joinery, you can just join the two halves together. You don't have to have the back strip. But if you are copying some style of guitar, you use whatever back strip they use. And we want to make sure, what I'm doing now is using my fingertips to go down through and make sure that all three of those surfaces line up evenly. All right, and it seems like it's together well. Let me grab a paper towel here to clean up a little bit. Now, once you have everything lined up well, and that's one of the reasons you want a nice flat surface to do this on, so everything lines up well. All right, now we start taping this side the same way. And as we work our way up, make sure that the back joints are lining up. This will end up surprisingly strong. You have a little over 1/10 of an inch of thickness there that you're actually edge-gluing together, and it comes out an actual pretty strong joint. And everything's straight now. Now all you have to do is just wait, give it overnight to dry, and the back will be glued up. So that's it for gluing the back. That's the second step. After the back's glued, then we will start working probably on some braces. I haven't decided the exact next step yet. But so far you can see that we have not gotten into the need for any really specialized lutherie tools. Just something that gives you a nice flat surface to do some joining. And that's it for this step.